So here we are today in the grand tradition of the scientific method we all learned in school. We are trying to figure out for these plastic Christmas bulbs, say plastic, which I got on clearance like a year or two ago and I've never used, which method will best adhere paint to the surface of these plastic Christmas bulbs. So I have set up an experiment where I have used gesso over there and primer, and I have also left some untreated and some got sanded. So we're going to see now what the actual test results are. All right, here we go. This is my control. This is gesso. All I did was put the gesso on. Didn't do any treatment to the bulb. And it's, you know, you feel the paint texture. This is the one that's had a very light sanding. And the texture is very similar, just so you know. So we're going to start first with the fingernail test. Did the gesso stay? Oh, not even close. Okay. So in this one, I did a light sanding. In this case with some steel wool. This is fine steel wool. So the scratches were really very minor, but I did scratch it up pretty good. So let's see if this one did any better. Nope, not at all. Okay, so that was experiment 1 with the gesso. Experiment number 2, we have the untreated one with Kills primer. And we have the one that's lightly sanded with Kills primer. All right, let's give this one the fingernail test and see if either of these work better for adhering the paint. Nope, that one came quite off quite easily. Here is the lightly sanded one. Again, I used steel wool for this one, and here we go. Okay, that might have been me. Just for fun, we'll do another. Yeah. Nope, that's not helping at all either. I let these dry for about an hour, and then I have one final last one. This one is sanded with, this is a medium grit, I think it's 120, sandpaper. And what was cool about that is when you sanded it, you could actually sand it in 2 directions, and it kind of gave it a texture. And this is definitely rougher to feel than the other ones were. I don't know if it's going to help with adhering. Let's see. And remember, this is also Kills. Oh, did you see that? Hey! Okay, we actually have an answer. So, I'll find steel wool to scrub it, not good enough. The sandpaper, that did work. And you'll see I only did half of these. So since this one is the winner, I'll go ahead and show you what I did for the sanding, just so you get an idea of what I've done. Hang on, let me take the top off. These have a seam. And I figured I'd go ahead and use the seam as my halfway point so that I would know where I had started. So I'm not sanding that hard, as you can see, but it does scratch it up pretty intensely. And I'm trying to go about halfway around, and you can see it's pretty well scratched up, trying to make sure I got everything. And then, for fun, what I did last time is I went in the opposite direction. I don't know, I just thought maybe this would give it the texture of like a canvas. So here I am, both directions. So that's what I had. And honestly, as this is, you know, trying to adhere it anyway, it probably doesn't matter if I wiped it off. But I did grab a towel and just gave it a quick go at it like that so I could do it. The last one was Kills. So just for fun for this one, I'm going to go ahead and paint it with my gesso. And we can see if it adheres as well once it dries. I'll have to put that in the comments though. Now this time around, I'm actually using a brush. Last time I just used a foam brush. And boy, foam brushes went a lot faster. I'm just letting you know. Let's see. And if the primer really does turn out to be the better version, and you'll notice I gave them both, on all these experiments, I did a really light coat. And I'm not really caring that I got past where it was. There. So see, all nice and done. So I'll post in the comments once I put this up whether or not this one also did well or better than the Kills primer. And this is just, you can see, like household interior primer stuff. Any brand would probably do just about the same, though it does appear sanding it is actually kind of essential. So I will let this dry. I'll give it a test. I'll post the video and let you know if gesso is just as good or better than the primer.